What will live on after you're gone? Hello, I'm Eddie Lawrence. Here's today's devotional thought. In 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 15, after Peter has shared about the precious promises and divine power and some other wonderful truth, he says in verse 15, moreover, I will be careful to ensure that you have a reminder of these things after my decease. He had previously mentioned that by revelation, he knew that he would be putting off his earthly tent. In other words, he was going to die. And he says, I'm going to be careful to ensure that you have a reminder of these things after my decease. Do we think about that? What am I leaving behind that my children and children's children can remember that will help them live for the Lord? Our witness, our legacy. I would encourage you to journal some things down about your faith, some God stories. I know people have written a book just for their family, and I think that's awesome. In some of the books I've written, I share stories that my children will later read, and my grandchildren and great-grandchildren, after I'm gone, that will remind them of our faith journey as a family and the things God's done in my life and in our lives. Why don't you think about that? Journaling, make a video, tell stories when you're together, pass it on. You know, the Bible is a collection of stories of what God did in the lives of other people. And in a similar way, we can pass on our faith. And as we approach Christmas, when I'm making this video, it's, less than a month away, maybe you could give something in the form of a gift that will remind your family perpetually of your love for the Lord, your love for them. Because Peter, that was on his heart. Hey, I'm about to die. I'm about to leave this earth, but I'm going to ensure that you have a reminder of these things. He was writing this letter to them. They would have that letter that we now have in the Bible. That was a letter that Peter had written and sent to believers. And part of the reason he did that is that they would have a reminder of the things that he had taught them, that he was sharing with them. So write some things down, pass some things on. And in today's age, with online storage and video capabilities, wow, you can record those stories, audio, video. You've got so many ways that you can pass on the stories of faith that have happened in your life. And they can be a blessing to those who come. Why don't you ensure that there's a reminder left behind after you go on before? Amen. Be blessed today.